Welcome back to Worthington Model Railway. I haven't posted a video in a few weeks. As I mentioned, I'm trying to move out of one house and into another house, and a lot of things going on. It's taking up way too much of my time, and don't really have a lot of time to do some other things. But while I was digging some stuff out to move, I did find some more train stuff that was stuffed away in the basement. And one of the things I found was a box of, I'm going to say, older locomotives. And so we'll dig some of those out in the next few days. These Silver Seal locomotives, there were 4 of them that were released. And you can see here on the top of this box. So let's have a look at these. So looking at the Silver Seal, we have a Class 5MT, Black 5. We have a 9F, the Evening Star. We have another 9F, which is just a straight locomotive and tender. And we have the 7P6F Oliver Cromwell. Well, I actually have the full set. It came in these boxes. I also have some of these Silver Seal locomotives on their own, so we might look at those in another video. But I thought for this video, let's look at the set of 4 locomotives as they are here. I'm going to just sort of look at them, and we'll see if they are going to run. If they do run, we'll put them on the layout. If not, then we'll do another video as we fix them and try to get them running. So this, let's have a look and see what we have in terms of these. So this is the first one here, which is the Evening Star, which is R861. The next one I have here also says Evening Star on it. Don't know if it is Evening Star or if it's interesting. We'll look in a second. Maybe I have maybe I don't have them all. This is the Black 5, which is R859. And here we have our 552, which is Oliver Cromwell. So let's just open them up and see. So we'll start with what should be an Evening Star. Okay, so this one says Evening Star. Let's see what it is. Well, it's R861, and looking at the date here, this is 13/08/1974. It's the tender drive Silver Seal locomotive, and sure enough, there it is, the Evening Star. So let me take this out and we can have a quick look at it. Well, it looks like the tender top is loose here. These tenders, that's where the motor is. They just clip on. So this needs to be clipped back on. There we go. So here we have the Evening Star. So let me bring the camera down a little. We can look at this, and I suppose I should probably turn a little bit of light on here. So we got there we go. So very glossy finish on these, but very nicely painted and nicely detailed. I mean but the piping here looks sort of very copperish. We do have nicely painted bands. A lot of the early things that we kind of lived with, like the line on the top here where the molding went together. But you notice it's got the copper chimney as well. Lining is really quite nicely done on here, if we can see that. And the interesting thing here is the pickups. Quite the pickups here on the wheels. I think you can see that. There's some detail in the cab from a molded point of view, but nothing picked out as we would expect today, and no opening roof or anything. There's a nice ladder on the back of the tender, and on the front end we have the evening star and the deflectors, and a nice smoke box detail there. Obviously 1974, a little different to what we would expect today, but there's a lot of detail here in terms of these linings. And these Silver Seal locomotives very much were the top of the range in their day. They had an upgraded motor in them, and they certainly had some extra detail here. So we'll look at the others, and then we'll see if this is going to run. I'll put this one back in the box for the moment. So this is the one that said Evening Star on the end of the box, but it is not the Evening Star. It is the 9F locomotive. Notice in this one, I don't have the instruction leaflet, and this one is probably slightly earlier because it has this plastic insert. It doesn't have the polystyrene insert the others had. It does have these nice sort of thumb holes here in terms of getting it out. Pull it out of the box here. Now, question a little bit is there a leaflet in the bottom of here? There may be. No, there isn't. So, don't have a date on this one. Okay, not quite as much detail on this as on the Evening Star. There is some picked out detail here on the pipes, and the pipes on the top are also there. Tender's loose on this one too. Otherwise, basically the same molding. Not that much different to look at here in terms of what's going on. This one, similar amount of detail on the tender at the back there. I don't know why this tender is also loose, but obviously an issue with these. A little bit different on the smoke box door. Not much, but a little different there. And also seem to be missing a buffer there on this one. Might be able to find one that I can put in there. So that's the straight 9F. So here we have the Oliver Cromwell, and as you see, this has that same glossy finish to it that we saw on the Evening Star, and also has some nice lining on it. Let's take this one out of the box and have another. Again, the tender is loose. It seems to be the perennial problem with these is the loose tender, because when it's running around the track, you're not going to notice that so much. Again, this one has nice metal fittings here, and again, we can see this line along the top here. Looks to be a similar tender to the Evening Star. Could even be the same tender. Interesting. So not definite glossy finish. I mean, this is really glossy down here on the tender. And even though we have a lot of molding here in terms of pipe work, it's not picked out like it is on some of the other models. So look at the other side on this one. Obviously the handrails are just molded and painted, nothing like we'd expect today, and just a tiny bit of detail here, but nothing that great. But in their day, had a lot of fun running these. Okay, let's look at the last one. So here we have the Black 5, and not a ton of detail on this again, as we can see. Interestingly, it does have on a couple of sprues some pipe work that is in the box. Take this one out of the box again. Doesn't look like, I don't have the document, so I don't have a date on it. Have a bit of a scuff here on the tender, and once again the tender top is loose. Those obviously just have not stayed over time. I'm thinking the plastic probably has worked its way a little bit loose. This one actually does have a separately fitted handrail. That's not molded, that's there's a handrail on there. Similar amount of detail in the lining, and this one doesn't have that really shiny finish, which is sort of quite nice. Nicely tapered smoke box there. Again, we have the line down the middle, but it's not quite as prominent as it does on the other glossy finishes. Let's look on the other side of this. Again, not much to see. We do have some molded detail here, but it's not even really picked out. Not a tremendous amount to see there. But it is interesting to look back at these older locomotives. So let's see if these want to run. We'll take them each in turn. As I say, they're all tender driven, and so that's why they are sort of permanently fixed together, because they have pickups on the locomotive wheels. And I don't believe they have pickups. No, they don't have pickups on the tender wheels. You'll see here they do have traction tires on the tender, which is how they're going to get around. Okay, let's see if this baby's going to run. So let's just see. This is right out of the box. I haven't done anything. I'm sure they're going to need some lubrication or whatever before we actually run them, but it will be just interesting to see if the motor runs. So let me turn this up a little bit. And there we go. Definitely starting to get, yep, at about 60% there. And I don't know if you can see the wheels running there, but this is definitely running. This one wants to go, so it's not too noisy. Let me see if I turn it up a bit. There's a little bit of, yeah. Let me put some lubrication on this, and hopefully we can run this one. Okay, so I think I have the camera a slightly better angle now to be able to see. Let's try this one and see what it does. I'm just going to hold the locomotive in place so it doesn't take off, and we'll apply some power. See what happens. Now this one does not seem to want to go. Nope. So I think we're going to have to do a little bit of work on this one. This one definitely does not seem to want to run. Try to change the direction. Nope, this one's not going to go. So we'll have to do a little work on this one. We'll take it apart and see if we can find out what's going on. So here we have the Evening Star. Let me see what we can do with this one. Apply some power. I can feel it trying to do something. There we go. Definitely, there we go. This one is running, although it's slightly noisy. I think we definitely need to do some lubrication on this. So let's lube it up and see if it'll work. So here we have the 1974 Evening Star. Let's see how this one does. So again, I'm just going to kind of hold it while I apply a little power and see what happens. There we go. Yep, This one actually, again, it's running. Little bit of noise there. So again, some lubrication. So didn't do too badly here. It looks like we get 3 out of the 4 are definitely running. So let me go and apply a little lubrication to these 3, and we'll see if we can run them around the layout. And I'll have a look at the black 9F and see if I can work out what's going on with that. So having opened this 9F up, seems the problem actually is not with the motor. The motor wants to go, but the gearing here, it's I don't know if you can see there, as I start to turn it, it'll get so far and then it locks. So I need to take these gears off and lubricate them a little. I think that'll solve the problem. Just to show you here, if I try to put some power to the motor, it starts to turn and then the gears helps if I put some power to this motor, it'll start to turn, and the gears, see, it starts to turn, but those gears stop it from moving. So we'll try to lube that up a bit and see if that solves that problem. So here I have some very light oil, and I have some gear lube. So I'm going to put a little oil onto the axles, just a tiniest drop of oil on each of the axles. Okay, and then put a little bit of this lube onto the gears and see if that helps. And what I tend to do is put a drop on the edge of the gears, and then as we move the gears, the lube will work its way around. There, they're already freeing up. Already seems much better. As you can see now, they're not spinning exactly freely, but they're definitely, yeah. Let me have another look at this. Now I possibly got a little bit too much lube on there, so I'm going to clean some off, but now if I apply power to this motor, there we go. You see, we are now running quite nicely, and quite quietly too. So let me put this back together. As you can see, we have quite a hefty weight here that goes on in the tender. The weight pushes down on those traction tires to drive the wheels. So similar job with the back 5, a little bit of oil on the axles and some lube on the gears, and here we go. We seem to cured that nasty squeak. Oh, yeah. Maybe not. Maybe we need a little bit more lube. Yeah, let's try again. There we go. Much better. There's the evening star, and we're going to be good with this one too now. Nice. Okay, one left to do. And here we have Oliver Cromwell running very, very smoothly. Probably the smoothest of them all. So let's go and put him on the layout. Sounds good. So it's amazing what a little bit of lube will do, particularly on some of these older models, and they just jump back into life. So I'm now going to go run them on the layout. In the interests of not making this video too long, I will put a second video out showing these various locomotives running on the layout. So anyway, thank you for watching, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and there will be a subscribe button to the top right and another video to the top left.